Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a dusty desert road. The sun is setting behind distant mountains. Your destination? Hundreds of miles away, through terrain that would make most bikes tremble, but not yours. Because beneath you sits a machine that's crossed continents, survived wars, and carried adventurers through the impossible for over 3 decades. Adventure isn't just a ride, it's a journey. And for over 30 years, one motorcycle has stood the test of time, conquering highways, trails, and everything in between. This is the story of the Kawasaki KLR650, the unkillable legend that refuses to quit. Meet the Kawasaki KLR650, a motorcycle that has been the favorite of adventurers, military personnel, and long-distance riders since 1987. While other bikes have come and gone, the KLR650 has remained virtually unchanged, because when you get something this right, why mess with perfection? Designed to be versatile, durable, and capable of handling both paved roads and the most punishing off-road trails, the KLR650 was built on a simple philosophy: go anywhere, do anything, never quit. Over the years, it has earned a reputation as one of the most reliable dual-sport motorcycles in the world. This isn't marketing hype. This is proven by hundreds of thousands of riders who've pushed their KLRs to the absolute limit and then kept riding. So what makes this bike so special? Let's start with the heart. Its 651cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine. Now I know what you're thinking, single cylinder, that sounds rough. But here's where Kawasaki's genius shines through. This engine was designed with 2 things in mind: simplicity and longevity. It produces around 40 horsepower, not earth-shattering, but perfect for the KLR's purpose. What it lacks in raw power, it more than makes up for in smooth, torquey performance that's ideal for both city streets and backcountry trails. But here's the secret weapon: the gear-driven balancer system. This ingenious piece of engineering reduces vibration dramatically, making those 8-hour, 10-hour, even 12-hour riding days not just possible, but comfortable.
These canvas saddlebags
Your hands
are
won't go
incredibly
numb.
durable.
Your body won't ache.
Right
The
here to
KLR
frame.
takes
The closure
care of
system
you.
keeps your gear
The
safe and
transmission,
dry on any
a wide
adventure.
ratio 5-speed gearbox that's been perfected over decades. First gear can crawl you up a Rocky Mountain trail. Fifth gear lets you cruise comfortably at highway speeds for hours. It's the Swiss Army knife of transmissions. And then there's the fuel tank, a massive 6.1 gallons. Do the math. With the KLR's excellent fuel economy of 50 to 60 mpg, you're looking at a range of 300 to 350 miles on a single tank. That means fewer stops, more adventure, and the freedom to explore roads where gas stations are just distant dreams. Now let's talk about what happens when the pavement ends and the real adventure begins. The KLR650's braking system features a single disc brake at the front and rear. Simple, reliable, and surprisingly effective under various conditions. No complicated ABS systems to fail in the middle of nowhere, just dependable stopping power when you need it most. The suspension setup is where this bike really shows its adventure DNA. Long travel forks up front and a rear monoshock designed to absorb everything from highway expansion joints to boulder-strewn trails. We're talking about a bike that can handle a 300-pound rider plus 100 pounds of gear and still soak up bumps like they're nothing. For carrying gear, the KLR650 is a minimalist's dream and a tourer's paradise. Options for side bags, luggage racks, and top cases transform this bike into a mobile home. Riders have carried everything from camping equipment to camera gear, from tools to weeks' worth of supplies. The KLR doesn't care. It just carries on. The dual-sport tires are rugged enough to claw through mud, sand, and gravel, yet perform admirably on highways. It's the ultimate compromise that somehow doesn't feel like a compromise at all. Want proof? The KLR650 has served in military operations. It's crossed the Sahara Desert. It's climbed the Andes Mountains. It's been the bike of choice for the famous long way round style adventures. Why? Because when you're 1,000 miles from the nearest mechanic, you need a bike you can fix with duct tape and determination. Let's talk numbers, but not the ones you're expecting. Sure, the KLR650 can reach a top speed of around 105 miles per hour, But that's not
As you
what
can
this
see
bike
with
is
the
about.
windscreen and
Its
the
true
instrument
strength
cluster
lies
here,
in torque,
Kawasaki really
durability,
focused on
and
rider comfort.
unstoppable
And this new skid
reliability.
plate
Here's the real statistic that matters. Riders consistently report mileage exceeding 60,000 to 100,000 miles with nothing more than basic maintenance. Some have pushed their KLRs past 200,000 miles. Think about that. That's equivalent to circling the Earth 8 times. And maintenance? It's so simple you can do most of it yourself with basic tools. Oil changes are straightforward. Parts are cheap and available everywhere. The KLR has one of the largest aftermarket support communities in the motorcycle world. There are literally dozens of modification guides, forums full of helpful riders, and a culture of KLR owners who will help you fix your bike on the side of the road. I've heard stories of riders who've crossed entire continents on their KLRs. One rider told me he bought his KLR new in 1995 and rode it from Alaska to Argentina. That's over 15,000 miles through every imaginable condition. When he finally returned home, he changed the oil, adjusted the chain, and kept riding to work every day. Another story, a group of adventurers took 5 KLR650s through the Australian outback. Temperatures exceeded 115 degrees Fahrenheit. They rode through sandstorms, crossed dried riverbeds, and navigated trails that hadn't seen vehicles in decades. Every single KLR made it to the finish line. That's not luck, that's legendary engineering. Now here's the beautiful part, accessibility. A new KLR 650 typically ranges from $7,500 to $8,500 USD, depending on your market and optional accessories. In a world where adventure bikes can easily cost $15,000 to $25,000, the KLR is a breath of fresh air. But it gets better. Used models can be found for even less, often in excellent condition because, well, they're KLRs. They don't break down. A well-maintained used KLR at 40,000 miles, that's basically just broken in. It's got another 60,000 miles of adventure left in it minimum. This makes the KLR 650 accessible for new riders, budget-conscious adventurers, and anyone who values substance over flash. You're not paying for fancy electronics or complicated systems. You're paying for a bike that works every time, everywhere. In short, the Kawasaki KLR650 is not just a motorcycle, it's a trusted partner for adventure. It's the bike that's there when you need it most, that never lets you down, that turns impossible journeys into unforgettable memories. Offering unmatched durability, true versatility, and beautiful simplicity, the KLR650 is a machine built on a philosophy that's increasingly rare in our modern world. Function over fashion, reliability over complexity, adventure over comfort. Whether you're navigating city streets, cruising highways, or exploring rugged trails where roads fear to go, the KLR 650 continues to prove year after year, mile after mile, why it's not just a favorite among adventure riders worldwide, it's a legend. This is the Kawasaki KLR 650, the bike that refuses to die, the adventure that never ends. Now get out there and ride.